Hello darts nuts, I'm going to do a review of a set of Target Carrera darts. This is the Carrera C13 23 gram. They're a 90% tungsten dart. They're also available in 25 gram and they retail around £48. And if you don't know about the Carrera dart, it's just a range of darts that has this pixel grip technology, and I reviewed a set of Carreras when they first came out, and since that time they've come out with quite a few models now. Can't remember how many models there is. I think there's about 6 or more. I know it says C13, but I think some of them are made in soft tip as well, so I don't think there's 13 steel tip versions. And inside the box you've got your little Target catalogue, and your weight guarantee says 23.1 gram. And as you can see, it comes in a slimline box, and the darts are already set up inside in this foam insert, and the darts are supplied with, I think these are the Target Provision. Let's have a look. Includes carbon steel tip, pro grip shafts. Yep, pro grip shafts. The look of short size, I would say. They might be extra short. Let's see if I can test it with my normal short one. Just a tiny little bit shorter than that, so they are a short shaft. And you've got your Carrera standard shape flights, and these are pretty much a straight barrel dart, but they've kind of got like little indented sections. I wouldn't say it's a scallop, but it goes in there, then that ring goes a little bit wider, and then it goes in there again and in there, so you might not be able to see it on the camera, but there's definitely 1, 2, 3 indentations, but I'll measure that later just so we can have a proper look. It feels like quite a grippy dart as well. I mean, the Carrera pixel grip, it might not suit everyone, but it's one of those things that you've probably got to try it first before you know for sure. That feels quite a nice grip actually. It doesn't feel overly aggressive. I don't know if it's because of it's been indented, but it can definitely feel that when I'm holding it, those little indentations. It feels quite comfortable on that front one for my front grip. Anyway, we'll have a close look at the dart now. Okay, here's the quick close up, and then I'll put a picture with all the measurements in detail. The darts are fitted with quite a short black coated point, and the front nose of the barrel has got this kind of a lip which is pretty close to the point, so it's a fairly smooth transition there, and I'm not sure if that was the intention. Just have a, I mean, it would possibly still catch, but it feels a little bit smoother than what you would normally get. Might be good to fit a Target storm point on there. I'm not sure whether it's possible or not, depends on how it fits, but it would be a nice smooth transition with a Target point, storm point. But as you can see, if you look there, you can see the indentations. It's kind of like it's not exactly a scallop, I wouldn't say. It's just a slightly shallower section, and you can see like the 2 bits here where it sticks out a little bit. So you got the 3 indentations there which I was on about before. So I think that's quite a good reference point for your grip. My front grip fits in there quite nice, and I can feel it. definitely feel where that indentation is, and then goes a little bit wider on the rings. But so you've got a grip for front, middle and rear. For some reason I can feel it more on that front one, I don't know. Yeah, I can still feel it on the others, but it just seems a little bit more. Maybe it's just because it's my natural grip there, I don't know, but it's quite a nice looking dart. And I would say overall the grip is probably a high medium, and sometimes that depends on, I think, on the closeness of the pixels and like the shape of the barrel, how you feel the pixels. I've noticed on some other darts I tend to feel them when they're closer together more, but I quite like the pixel grip. It's a pretty good grip overall, and I think a lot of people have taken quite a liking to the pixel grip darts, but it's good that Target have brought out quite a few different shapes now, and also you've got them in soft tip as well. But this is more like a classic straight barrel dart, so probably will suit quite a lot of different grips, and maybe that's why they've got the 3 indentations there for the front, middle and rear, I don't know. But as you can see, it's fitted with the short pro grip shafts and your standard Carrera flights. So I'll just let you look at the dart for a bit, then I'll put the detailed picture up. Okay, here's the detailed picture.
Okay, here's the detailed look at the darts. It's got a black coated 25mm point, and there's a kind of a lip to the nose of the barrel which is about 1.7mm, and then it's got like a curved part which is smooth with some pixel grips right around the edge, which is about 6mm, and then you've got the bulk of the barrel which is made up of the main pixel grip, which has got a kind of a shallow scallop that's 33.8mm wide, and then there's a smooth section on the rear with a couple of very thinly cut grooves, and then the Carrera logo, and then a couple of more grooves which is about 6mm, and then it's got another smooth section which slopes to the shaft, which is about 4mm wide. The overall length is 52mm and the width is 6.58mm.
Right, I'll just take some measurements along the barrel now. The barrel length is 52.18, and I'm not sure whether that front section might be the widest. I'll just measure that first. That's 6.57, and see if I can get one of those wider rings. It's a little bit awkward. Just have to. Yeah, it's probably about 6.5758, so 6.5mm will be the widest, and the indentation goes a little bit thinner, 6.15. I'll just measure that one as well, see whether they're roughly the same. I think I'm on the big ring there. Yeah, it's a bit awkward trying to get hold of it. There we go. So kind of that, it's a bit thinner. I'll just measure that front one again, because sometimes if you get the edges of the rings, so it goes to about 6mm on those indentations. There you go. So it's about 6.5 on the wide parts and 6mm where it's indented, and then slightly tapers towards the shaft a little bit. Goes a little bit normal there, 6.5, and then down to 6. just about 6mm right at the end of the barrel. That little bit on the end, it's a bit hard to measure that. It seems to be slipping off. See if I can get it. Just in case people want to fit a storm point, that's about 3.4mm, but obviously the hole will be a little bit smaller than that. So that's your measurements of the barrel. Alright, I'll compare the weight of the barrels now. That one is 23.13 grams, and that one is 23.14, and that one is 23.16. so they're pretty closely matched, and the weight the full setup has supplied is 24.73 grams. Alright then, I'll see if I can find the balance point. Maybe a little bit awkward with those indented parts, but I think it's going to be slightly front weighted. Yeah, just around about there. So it is just slightly front weighted with nothing attached, and with the supplied setup it's probably going to be quite close to the centre. It's a bit hard to get this with the indentations affecting it a little bit. I think just about there, so with the supplied setup it's pretty much bang in the middle. Alright then, that's the detailed look at the darts. So let's give them a throw and see how they go. I'm holding these pretty close to the front of the nose. Like I said before, it feels like a kind of a scallop in there, and each section is like a kind of a mini scallop, so you've got like three, only like a kind of a flat square scallop, but it's only because like the rings go a little bit wider on each part, but it's pretty comfortable there actually. I think I would probably prefer holding it just about there, but I'll give it a throw there in a minute, but I'm not sure whether that ring kind of being pronounced might make it wobble a little bit, but we'll find out in a minute. But just holding it from there, it seems to be flying quite steady. Also I think having the short flights on kind of helps a bit. I think with the mediums it may have fishtail a little bit, but I can try that later. I'm not having any problems with the release at all. The grip isn't sticking into me as much as I was expecting. Also with it being in the scallop, I thought it might be catching the edges of the front part as I'm releasing it, but I'm not having any issues at all with that. And the grip itself it's nice and grippy, but it's not overly aggressive. I think with this style of the pixel grip, where the rings are kind of flatter, it's not as grippy as it was on the what do they call, the distinctions, the Capricorn distinctions. It felt a bit more grippy on them ones. It's flying nice and flat as well. It's a nice steady dart through the air. I'm just going to move my grip up just a little bit on that kind of wider section there, just to see how that feels. Not too sure about gripping it there. I think it felt better in the scallop part. Let's give it another go. What I noticed there was it was kind of like flicking up a little bit and spinning a bit as well. It was releasing better from the scallop section, I think. A little bit better. Sometimes it takes a bit of getting used to. But I am noticing that I'm getting a kind of a kick, which I kind of expected that might happen, because with it being a bit wider there, it's a little bit less well balanced in your grip, whereas there it feels more steady because you've got a nice flat part to grip onto. I'm just going to try the centre grip now, so I'm going to try that centre scallop, see how that feels. That's pretty nicely balanced there. So I say it's a straight barrel dart, but to me it has distinct sections for grips, so front, middle and rear. So if you're a front gripper like me, you'll probably like it gripping it there, and it definitely works well for a centre grip there. So I'll just have a try on that rear section now, see how that feels. Yep, again, quite well balanced, but like I said many times before, it's not my natural grip, so sometimes gripping it from the rear I tend to throw it up a little bit too high. But it should be fine for anybody if your grip falls in the scallops. I'm not sure how it's going to be like on the knuckle part, so for me it didn't feel as good to throw from that there. Definitely the best is for me on that front scallop section. It's very nicely balanced there for me. Oh well, that's the Target Carrera C13 23 gram darts. I find it a very comfy dart to throw. It just sits very nicely on that kind of like a flat scallop. I don't know really what you can call it. It wasn't so good when I was throwing it from the slightly wider bits there, but I think it's probably going to suit any grip, front, middle and rear, as long as your grip rests in these slightly thinner parts. I call it a scallop, but it's probably not like a true scallop, but if your grip sits on any of them sections then you should be fine with these. And it's a very nice start to throw as well, seems to be very well behaved through the air, very nice smooth flight, and it flew a little bit flatter than what my normal kind of darts fly, especially because I have a slightly loopy throw, so overall it's very nice to throw. So that's the end of the review. Thanks for watching.